Let's talk about the Hosa Sidekick DIB-443 passive direct box. Now just to start out, I want to put a little disclaimer on this review. This review is from a sound tech, not a musician. So my review, my thoughts are on the sound tech perspective. And just based on the sound tech perspective, if I see somebody's input list, tech rider where they've got, stereo keys, bass that needs a DI, couple of acoustic guitars, maybe a tracks channel, who knows? I have to have half a dozen direct boxes in my live sound toolkit. So am I going to go out and am I going to buy a Radial Engineering, JDI MK3 for 200 bucks? Probably not, especially when I need to have half a dozen of them, because I ain't spending 1,200 bucks on direct boxes. So, from a sound tech perspective, needing just to have half a dozen of these things just in case you might need them, 25 bucks for a Hosa Sidekick direct box is the perfect price point. And I've used these probably for the last 6-7 years maybe. And I own a dozen of them about, and I've only ever had one die. I don't know what happened to it. Just one day, no sound. You crack these things open. There's really not much in them. There's just a tiny little circuit board. And I was thinking, oh, maybe something's loose. I might be able to fix it myself. But I popped it open and looked at it and was like, 25 bucks. I'll just chuck it in the garbage and buy another one. But it's got everything you need: input, output, 1/4 inch. Instrument line switch, XLR out, and ground lift. And sound quality wise, I use these all the time, and I don't notice anything negative about the sound I'm getting from the stage. I've had musicians come in, a bass player bring in his, $250 fancy DI box. And I'll be honest, I haven't A-B'd back and forth the $300 DI versus the $25 DI. I haven't done an A-B comparison, but when I listen to the bass player, I'm just kind of like, sounds like a bass, So if you're a musician and you want to use a direct box, maybe you do want something more expensive than this. This is what I consider the sound tech's direct box. But if you want to spend a lot of money to really enhance the tonality of your bass or your acoustic, don't expect the sound tech to buy a $300 direct box to make you happy. If you want it, go out and buy it yourself. And that's, just sound tech perspective. I see fancy direct boxes on people's tech riders all the time. They get this. I do not go out and buy anything special for them. If you want something fancy, you buy it yourself. Otherwise, from me, you get a Hosa Sidekick. And it works just fine. I've used this for nationally touring artists. Nobody ever complains. No touring sound tech, when I plug this in, has ever said, well, that doesn't sound like a Radial Engineering direct box. No, nobody ever says that. It's a direct box. Spend the 25 bucks, get half a dozen of these, everybody's happy in the end. But if you're a musician, I suggest go to a Guitar Center, bring your bass, bring your acoustic, plug it into half a dozen different one of these. I think you're going to have to A-B it. I don't think anybody's going to say, oh, this direct box makes this guitar sound the best. If there's something that enhances the tonality of your instrument, you're going to have to try it out with your instrument. Don't go off a YouTube review. Don't go off the price tag of a $300 direct box. It must be awesome. Because at the end of the day, if you come into one of the bars that I'm running sound in, I don't think you're going to know whether or not they have a Hosa Sidekick or a $300 direct box. Maybe if you're a musician you will. Maybe if you're the musician playing you will, because you're used to your direct box. But frankly, from my perspective, I can't tell the difference. 25 bucks, great investment. Reliability is awesome. Like I said, I've only had one of these die. I have about a dozen of them. And it's one die in the last 6-7 years. And these get rained on outside. They get beat up on stage. They're used all the time. So if you have any questions, go ahead. Throw it down in the comments section. If you completely disagree with me when it comes to DIs, if you're a musician, go ahead and post your opinion below. Don't tell me I'm wrong. I'm just giving the sound tech's perspective. and the fact that I am not going to go out and buy $150 to $350 direct boxes, especially when I need to have half a dozen of them in my inventory minimum. But until next time, have a good day.